Hello, Gemini, all Gemini people everywhere. I am Poetic Heretic, and this is your February 2020 tarot forecast. I'll be giving you a Celtic reading for the month of February 2020 and see what insight we can gain into all Gemini people out there, sun, rising, and moon. So, grab my cards here and get situated, and we shall begin. So we would like a Celtic cross reading for all Gemini people for the month of February 2020. Let us see what we get. What fate awaits the sign of Gemini in the month of February 2020? And there we have it. Okay. All right, let us burn and observe. Current outside influences, the Ace of Wands. Challenge card, the Hanged Man. The underlying energy, the Queen of Pentacles reversed. The past, the Two of Swords. What you hope to achieve, the Fool reversed. The near future, the Ten of Wands reversed. Your attitude or position in the situation, the Page of Cups. The outside force coming in, the Ace of Pentacles reversed. For your hopes or fears, the King of Pentacles reversed. And the final outcome card, the Four of Cups reversed. All right, so let's take a look here. Wow, we've got some significant indicators of some kind of new beginning trying to manifest. And that, of course, brings us to our very first card, the Ace of Wands, representing your current outside influences right around the beginning of the month. The Ace of Wands is concentrated energy, vitality. It is a signal to go for it, to do, to act, to create, to initiate. It is undifferentiated fire energy, and fire is all about the will and taking action and initiation and pushing forward into the new, the spark of inspiration that starts a whole new thing. And so with the Ace of Wands here, you can expect the beginning of February for you Geminis out there to be full of inspiration, basically, or be full of action, a very active time. Like things are happening, you're taking action, you're feeling inspired. There's all kinds of new events happening, essentially. But then what is so interesting about this is that crossing over it, the challenge card you got the Hanged Man. So we have this idea of surrender, of letting go and allowing things to be. And so it's an interesting sort of mix that we see with the Ace of Wands and then the Hanged Man, because it's almost like the cards are saying that your challenge this month is to not try to make things happen so much as we might suspect with the Ace of Wands when we add in the Hanged Man, to instead allow things to happen, allow the inspiration to strike, allow yourself to naturally be carried away with the enthusiasm of the new idea or the desire to take action or whatever. The Hanged Man is all about just letting go and letting things happen, letting things be, surrendering, yielding to the flow of life. And so we do have that. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say about that based on their cards. I don't think so. So let us continue. For the underlying energy, everything forming a foundation for your current situation and the whole month, you have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So this can indicate feelings of insecurity and instability, particularly when it comes to financial matters. But it can also be like other earthy matters. So like you may not feel completely secure in your environment this month for some reason, or well, that sort of thing. But especially like financial security and like any kind of earthy security, there may be some lack of that this month. Let me see here, some of these other cards. Well, there's almost a suggestion, though, as I look at the other cards, of this idea, if we sort of fuse all of these together, of like, there's maybe insecurity because a lot of you are breaking out of and breaking free from previous patterns in the past, things that maybe you need to break free from, that things that need to change. And so this could be indicating that as well, I do think. Keep in mind, and especially also because we also got for you the King of Pentacles in your hopes or fears reversed, that these are both court cards. And so potential conflicts with earth signs, maybe male or female. This would be a female, and the other one is male. Earth signs, those being Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, may be a factor in your month. So do be aware of that. But basically speaking, it looks like there's this, like overall, as I look at all the cards that you got here before me, I see this energy of like breaking free from what's been holding you back, breaking into the new. And if there's insecurity or whatever, well, of course there is, because you're entering uncharted territory. But you can't just like not enter uncharted territory in life. Otherwise you stop growing, you stop developing, and that's no way to live. For the past issues that you may have had to deal with that then lead into what you're experiencing now, you got the Two of Swords, indicating often this idea of choices, having to make maybe a bit of a difficult choice, but it's also very often, sticking with our theme here, that we're sort of developing, the idea of a stalemate, or of things not moving in the way that we want them to, being stuck in some way, like two opposing forces resulting in stasis, in non-movement for a time. And so when I look at this and then I look at your other cards, I see again this stasis that perhaps you have been dealing with in the recent past is you are meant to break free from this month, breaking into the new with that Ace of Wands. But remember, the Hanged Man reminds you to not try to force it to happen, but instead to just try to let go and allow it to happen. And believe me, I'm not one of these, like, I don't know, new agey people who like will always try to tell you, oh, you never want to really take action, you just always want to allow everything and it's supposed to be easy, blah blah blah. It's total BS. I'm here to tell you what I see in the cards and the reading itself, and in this specific reading it is advising you to try to let go and allow things to happen. I wouldn't be saying that if we didn't have the Hanged Man card there. Like, I wouldn't be saying that if we instead had like the Emperor card there instead of the Hanged Man. Then I'd be telling you to get out there and make stuff happen, but that's not what we're seeing this month. Also, I just made a cup of coffee, so I hope you don't mind if I take a quick sip or two. All right, so for what you hope to achieve and like your highest goal this month, what you're reaching for, what you're focusing on a lot, you got the Fool reversed. Yet again, this desire to break free from limitations and things holding you down, it continues even with this card. Indeed, you feel like there's a blockage to breaking free, to this spontaneous new adventure in your life, and it is your goal this month to break free from that, to be more like the Fool upright, who follows his bliss and lets it lead wherever it goes and is ready to embark upon the new adventure all the time. And that's what you're reaching for. That's what you're hoping for this month. But you're going to have to how should I say this accurately? You're going to have to surrender in order to dissolve some blockages that are in the way of that breakthrough, of breaking free in that way, that sort of new adventure. For the near future, you have the Ten of Wands reversed. So this is good news. This would be like the first week or two of the month. This is more of a releasing and letting go of a heavy burden. And so when your challenge is to surrender this month, are you meeting that challenge? It looks like you certainly are. The vast majority of you Gemini out there certainly are. You're releasing things, letting go, letting things happen as they will, and allowing the new creative inspiration or the new action or whatever it happens to be to take place. And so that's very good. And if you find yourself in the first week or two feeling burdened, then that Ten of Wands reverse there is a sure sign that you really should try to strategize ways to not overwork yourself at this time and instead find ways to let go of more of those things that are burdening you. For your attitude or position on the situation about halfway through the month, you got the Page of Cups. All right, so this point, you are likely feeling very creative and very intuitive and imaginative, and your emotions are flowing. And a lot of times this card does indicate the idea of like romance, or like a new romance trying to come in, or a new lover trying to come in, that sort of thing. Obviously, that's going to vary because this is a general reading, but it could be that many Gemini people, we have Valentine's Day this month. Ye gods, I just remembered that. We have Valentine's Day this month, and so how appropriate, Page of Cups, have that delightful Valentine's Day experience, either a new lover, and funny how that holiday is about halfway through the month, and this is for halfway through the month, or someone that you're already partnered with, and you're having probably a rather special time with Valentine's Day. Isn't that nice? But again, general reading, this will manifest in various ways for various people. It is also very often great creativity and imagination and intuition and inspiration, sort of listening to one's emotions and letting one's emotions sort of guide you towards wherever you really want to go, wherever your intuition sees that you want to go. It's a very intuitive kind of card. And it blends exceptionally well with that Hanged Man card for your challenge that we went over earlier. All right, for the outside force coming in, You got the Ace of Pentacles reversed. I would say be careful with this because the reversal could indicate that it is the dark side of money, shady dealings. There may be someone who's trying to deceive you in some way when it comes to financial matters, someone who is trying to rip you off. Be very wary of that. Don't let anyone rip you off. If something seems too good to be true this month, it probably is. Some opportunity comes at you or comes to you and seems too good to be true. It probably is Ace of Pentacles reversed. Other than that, just the idea again of like shady dealings, like someone around you might be aware of is engaged in some nefarious activities when it comes to money, investments, business practices, that sort of thing. And you're aware of it, and it will be up to you to decide what, if anything, you want to do about it. So we do have that. Although we could also say with that card, when we look at it another way, that it's yet another indication of some of these new beginnings trying to develop for you this month. So kind of funny that as if we hadn't had enough indicators of that already. All right, so King of Pentacles reversed in your hopes or fears. This can talk more about being afraid of not having enough security, feeling insecure, and that sort of thing, the fear of feeling insecure. This card can also show up as a warning, like a warning not to proceed, that things are about to get rough, difficult, and not very secure. But it's only showing up in your hopes or fears. So you're maybe feeling some anxiety surrounding that, but there isn't an indication that that level of instability is actually literally manifesting here. It may be, but we're not seeing what I would identify as strong indicators of that here. We're just not seeing it. And so maybe that can help like ease your anxiety a bit this month. If you're worried about things destabilizing, well, I mean, it's just showing up in your hopes or fears. Although to be fair, Queen of Pentacles reversed did show up in the underlying energy for this month, but again, we're not getting a huge amount of indicators of that. Like if it was really something to worry about, we would get at least one strong indicator, and we aren't. So I think at least for the vast majority of Gemini people out there, it's mainly going to be all in your head, and maybe only a little bit of that reflected in your actual physical reality, like the foundation of your month might be not quite as strong as usual. All right, for the final outcome card, you got the Four of Cups reversed. And you know what? I'm actually going to draw an 11th card for you to get more information on that so I can get a better idea of things. Two of Pentacles. All right, so let us see here. Yeah, I basically wanted to make sure that this wasn't starting to indicate a level of instability that we should be concerned about, but I don't think so. With that Two of Pentacles showing up after this, at worst, it would be like the idea of too many ups or downs, particularly emotionally, with this being the Four of Cups reversed. But it's interesting because as we look back to what we had more towards the beginning of this reading, and sort of combine it with this, the Four of Cups reversed is so often indicative of like become more confident with things, not that it's always positive, but when it manifests positively, it can be more confidence and openness. And at least the way I've seen it before, like a willingness to sort of come out of one's shell and assert oneself more, perhaps even. And we have themes of that echoing throughout this reading of your wanting to break free this month and that sort of thing. So we have that. It can also just be like a reminder to try to be open to what the universe is trying to provide you. And yet again, we have to look at that Hanged Man card and say, this is like allowing things to happen. I think this card is about relaxing and allowing things to happen rather than being sort of stubbornly closed off to what the universe may be trying to do for you, or being too much in our ego or whatever and trying to create from that level, but instead just um, creating from a level of openness and receptivity, I think is very ideal. All right, so that's about it, Gemini. Overall, this is a month where it looks like you are meant to break new ground, break into new territory, but you're not going to do that by forcing things. You're only going to do that by dissolving boundaries softly through surrendering and allowing the inspiration to strike you. So have fun with that. It should be should be quite the month, I think. It's a fun ride to go on whenever you can just let the universe sort of guide you rather than trying to like micromanage everything or whatever. All right, so that is your reading for February 2020, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe if you would like to, because I do plan on returning with more of these forecasts very soon. Of course, I regularly post streams, or I do streams that are astrology and tarot related. So if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe. And thank you so much for watching, and have a magnificent month of breaking free in February of 2020. Bye for now.